Well, it's that time of year. It's the end of the year. So it's time to take a look back and see what are the best Android phones of 2013. It's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And it's time to take a look at the best phones of 2013. However, we're taking a bit of a different approach here. Instead of just giving you a top 5, 10 list, we're actually going to look at what types of phones would be perfect for the type of person that you might be. But enough of the chit-chat, why don't we go ahead and jump right into the categories. Whether you like just your simple word puzzles or you play Dead Trigger 2 at the highest possible quality settings, this is a phone made for the gamer in all of us. And yes, our pick is the Google Nexus 5. With a great display backed by LG's display prowess, a wonderful processing package in the Snapdragon 800 and the Adreno 330 for high graphics allows for some very great gaming capabilities. The main reason here, however, is the price. It is a pretty easy entry for great performance, and you have money left over for plenty of games. Our runner-up in this category is the Sony Xperia Z1. It brings many of the same capabilities along with even better battery life, a better camera, and expandable storage. Also, DualShock controller support built in doesn't hurt either. However, it does have a much higher price point. Our next best smartphone for 2013 is for the workaholic. Basically the person who needs to get a lot done and needs a companion that can get a lot of things done. And for the workaholic, we have to give the crown to the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. It is an executive phone with an executive look. However, it also comes with all of the tools that you would need to get the work done. It continues to lead the phablet space, especially with the inclusion of the S Pen. Not only does it come with a bunch of new features that make it easier for even the average user to get into the S Pen, it also allows for a lot of multitasking. Our runner-up in this category is the LG G2. While it doesn't have the S Pen, plenty of the multitasking tools included in the G2 are similar to what are included in the Galaxy Note 3, and it all comes in a smaller, perhaps slightly more accessible package due to its smaller size compared to the Note 3. If your phone is basically your entertainment hub for everything from YouTube to Google Play Music to Spotify to Netflix even, then this next phone is one of the best of 2013 and is made especially for you, the entertainment lover. It should come as a little surprise that the HTC One gets the nod here due to a superior audio experience. The boom sound front-facing speakers are just stellar performers, and they allow for standalone media consumption through just the phone itself. And couple that with a 1080p resolution screen at 4.7 inches that keeps it at a great quality in an actually pretty accessible package nonetheless. Our runner-up in this category is basically the step aside from the HTC One, and that is the Samsung Galaxy S4. The Samsung Galaxy S4 Super AMOLED display provides high contrast in a 5-inch form factor. Media looks great across the board on this particular screen, so if you need an experience that might be just a little bit bigger than the one that is in the HTC One, the Samsung Galaxy S4 stands right alongside it. You get all of your materials together. You're super excited to get out to your brand new college campus. But after paying for the books, paying for your extra materials, and not to mention the college tuition, you find yourself a little strapped for cash. So this next best phone of 2013 is made for you, the student. Was there really any doubt what the phone would be here? Of course, it's the Moto G. With great performance at a very affordable price point, this is one of the most undeniable steals in the Android market today. And in the market of smaller, lower-end phones, not only does the $179 base price point truly set it apart, but a great 720p display quality and a good performing quad-core Snapdragon processor are just icing on top of the cake. However, if money is no object and you are able to pay for that much higher price point, then our runner-up in this category is the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. The Note 3 is great for students, for all of the same reasons that it is good for workaholics. Of course, granted, they don't stay on Facebook all day. So you've got all of your gear on for a nice run. Or maybe you even have a backpack on for that hike. Well, in this case, you want to be one with nature, so what phone do you bring along with you? Well, when it comes to the outdoorsy type, we have found that the Sony Xperia Z1 definitely fits the bill. With ingress protection, or IP67 certification, all that means that this phone can brave the elements much better than most other phones, and it still manages to look like a very sleek device despite all of that protection. Indeed, the Sony Xperia Z1 can take a tumble. It can even take a splash. And in terms of our drop test, it took a thrashing and still came out looking about as good as it went in. However, if you do want to kind of hit it on the nose here with the more rugged type of phone, our runner-up is of course the Samsung Galaxy S4 Active. If you want a phone that actually seems catered for the rugged terrain, then that is exactly what the S4 Active was made for, as it comes with the same IP certifications as the Xperia Z1 in a body that likely matches your hiking gear. Now this is a category that I might somewhat put myself in, because it's the category that tends to try to be unique, tries to be the early adopter for something that might really blow up later. This is the best phone of 2013 for the trendsetter. And after much deliberation, we have found that the best phone for a trendsetter is the LG G Flex. This is the phone trying to do something new and manages to do it with some style while never failing to be a great phone underneath it all. That curve is very, very obvious from the get-go, but it does allow for durability along with a self-healing back. A flexible plastic OLED display allows for this type of form factor to happen, and it is a pretty early adoption along with that self-healing back. But underneath, it is a wonderfully executed 720p display powered by the high-performing Snapdragon 800. Our very close runner-up in this category is the HTC One. It is an aluminum-clad smartphone that actually pretty much stands alone in the Android space. The HTC One gets points for its own stylish flair, and is a phone that we are always happy to have in our hands, and usually does the trick when it comes to turning people's heads. Our next category is for the gadget lover. Essentially what we're looking for is a phone that you would be immensely happy to have, and have right alongside all of the other gadgets you call your own. And in this category, we have to give it to the Moto X. See, it taught us that super high-end specifications aren't needed to have a superior user experience. And it has a highly accessible smaller body that makes for a companion you can always easily have on hand. However, it doesn't slouch in terms of its features, as the extra features Motorola put into the almost stock Android build adds points for being actually practical and highly utilized by even most average users. However, as long as we're talking about features, if you want the most possible, then perhaps the Samsung Galaxy S4 is for you and is the runner-up in this category. Maybe every new addition that Samsung did throw into the S4 will make you happy. Everything from the air gestures, to the air views, to the smart pauses, the smart scrolls, the IR blaster, and even the S-Health functionality. If that is all useful to you, then the Samsung Galaxy S4 is your pick. So let's say there's a shot that you want to get. Something just looks really beautiful, but you don't have your DSLR or your compact camera. So what phone do you have in your back pocket to take that perfect shot? Well, this is the best phone of 2013 for the photographer. And in this regard, we have to give it to the LG G2. A 13 megapixel optic package comes with many different modes in the app to allow for creativity. HDR, panorama, burst modes, the works. However, what is really of note here is a great implementation of optical image stabilization, which proves how important such a feature will be in the coming year for other camera smartphones. Not only does it allow for some great stabilization for your shaky hands, it also provides some pretty great photos as a result. The quality is pretty undeniable here. And also the bonus with the LG G2 is that it just also manages to be a damn good phone too, because you can compare it to some other phones that try to be more like cameras than phones and pretty much fall flat on their face. The Sony Xperia Z1 is the runner-up here and gets the nod for a very high-performing 20.7 megapixel shooter that is enhanced by user-installable add-ons that provide a possibly consistently evolving photography experience. Its pictures are also not too shabby either, and with that super high megapixel count, there are definitely quite a few things you can do with the very large pictures that come out of this phone. Now, we would be remiss if we overlooked what is one of the most important categories of the year, and that is the Android purist. This is probably the smallest surprise of the year because, of course, the Nexus 5 takes the crown for being the phone for the Android purist. We wanted to give it a nod primarily because it really is the best and quintessential Android experience available right now, and it only comes from the Nexus. Android 4.4 KitKat brings optimizations with a further elegantly integrated search interface with voice controls built in to boot. The phone is also a great performer with very powerful specifications, and the camera, even if it started off a little bit wonky, got greatly improved with a new, very recent 0.1 update. We give the runner-up spot here to the Moto X. With Google's backing, the Moto series is still a great representation of almost stock Android, with useful and well-executed Motorola extras. And so there you have it for all of the best phones of 2013, catered specifically to the type of person you might be. Now, we pretty much covered a lot of different types of people, and if you think that a different phone should have won for a particular category, you can definitely let us know inside the comments below. Just feel free to sound off and explain to us why you think a different phone should have won. As always, thank you guys very much for watching, and keep it tuned to Android Authority for all of the best coverage. We recently hit the 500,000 subscriber mark, so I would really encourage all of you to check out our big thank you video to all of you who are subscribed. Again, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, and make sure you check out that video. After that, you can drop us likes on our videos, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you can follow us on social media. If you want to follow me, you can find me in the handles that are below that subscribe button. Joshua Vergara on Google+, of course, and on Twitter and Instagram, I am Josh. Salutes. Happy holidays, everybody, and keep it tuned to Android Authority because we are your source for all things Android.
Not everybody can afford a flagship smartphone, so if you can't get a 2-year contract or if you need to buy something unlocked, it's very difficult for you to spend $650 to $750 to buy a flagship smartphone, especially without a 2-year contract. We're definitely seeing a shift here, for more manufacturers are putting an emphasis on affordable devices and making more of them. The problem with affordable is it never went together with performance, but today I'm going to be looking at 3 budget devices that perform extremely well at their price points. Let's take a look. The first phone we're going to look at is the Nokia Lumia 520 or the 521, which is the T-Mobile variant here, and the price point is amazing at just $59, and this is unlocked without a contract. I've actually seen this phone even cheaper, sometimes $40. I mean, it's just incredible that for that price you can get a fully functional smartphone. For the price, the specifications are actually amazing. It comes with a 4-inch IPS display, and even though it's WVGA, so it doesn't have high resolution, actually the screen looks pretty good. It's a little bit dull in sunlight, but it definitely does the job. This phone runs Windows Phone 8, which is very snappy even with lower specifications, so you won't have problems with performance here. Don't let the dual-core processor and the 512 megabytes of RAM scare you at all. This is a perfect first-time phone, prepaid phone, because it does everything that you need a phone to do. It texts well, it makes good phone calls, it takes pictures, and it has data connectivity. It is limited to HSPA+, but at this price point, that's expected. What's nice is there is a dedicated camera button to wake that 5 megapixel camera that is on the back, and it's also capable of taking 720p HD video. It's not 1080p, and the video quality and the picture quality is not the greatest, but it will definitely do for Instagram, Facebook, and all your social stuff. You would expect this thing to feel extremely cheap at this price point, but it actually feels pretty solid. It's a little bit thick in the hand, but I really like the matte polycarbonate finish that is on the back. It is extremely lightweight and it feels comfortable in the hand, very manageable. While the apps are somewhat limiting, the Windows Phone 8 platform is very easy to use. There's not a whole lot in the menus here, so if you're an inexperienced smartphone user, then this might be your best bet. This phone even features the ability for you to remove the back cover, and you can also put different colors on it because they are available, and it exposes the battery. So even if the battery life's not that great on this phone, you can replace the battery on this phone and carry an extra one with you. Even features an SD card slot for expansion. So in this price point, this is a fantastic device. Up next, we're going to look at the Motorola Moto G, and the price points kind of fluctuate here, so let's talk about it a little bit. If you go to a carrier such as Verizon, you're going to pay $99, and some prepaid as well. But if you want to buy it GSM unlocked, it is $179 for the 8GB model and $199 for the 16GB model. Prices may vary at the time that you're watching this video, but the Moto G looks a lot like the Moto X, their flagship phone at this time. They carried over the look and feel of the Moto X, so even in this cheaper price point, you're going to get that nice build quality that Motorola is known for. carries over the 3.5mm headphone jack up top with the secondary noise cancelling microphone. It has a nice curvature on the back, a power button, and the volume rockers on the opposite side. It even has that nice little dimple there that gives you a great reference point of where your fingers are when you're holding this device. So to the untrained eye, or if you didn't know about the Moto X, then you may not even be able to tell the difference. You can remove the back cover on the Moto G, but it's not exactly what you would expect. There's no battery removal or there's no SD card slot. It's for you to actually buy different shells and have customization. Like here, there's a white shell. You can turn it into many different colors that are available. The Moto G also features a water-resistant coating that is on there, and it's only good for splashes though, so don't try to dunk this in the water. What's awesome about the Moto G is it has great specifications. It has a 4.5-inch 720p HD display, and it's a great display, by the way. You would think that at this price point that display would be gross and it'd just be washed out. That is not the case in the Moto G. It's powered by a quad-core Snapdragon 400 processor with 1GB of RAM and the very capable Adreno 305 GPU. All that technical stuff aside, what that means is you get a very smooth experience on the Moto G. It is running basically a stock version of Android, and it even has the latest version of Android 4.4.2. Updates have been very regular with this phone, and the everyday usage is fantastic. So you wouldn't even know that you're on a budget phone because it just performs that good, trust me. All your Google services are here, like Google Now, and it's just very snappy, and I definitely recommend this if you're looking for a cheaper handset. The phone quality is good as well, but the only thing that you're lacking is LTE connectivity. You are stuck with HSPA Plus on T-Mobile or AT&T in the United States. I have not tested this for other carriers such as Verizon or the prepaid, but they should all perform the same. And even video gaming on here is very decent. Look, it's playing Dead Trigger 2 without a problem. I love the size of the Moto G, for it's not too small that you can't watch multimedia on this, because watching YouTube videos, catching up on TV shows, it looked good. And once again, this screen is phenomenal for this price point. It even comes with a 5-megapixel camera with LED flash on the back, and it does have some simplistic software. It doesn't take the best photographs or the best video. It does take HD video, but not at 1080p, and it does have a flash though, so I think that for most people, this camera will definitely be good enough, especially for social media and just your regular pictures and videos. I think the Moto G is perfect for people that want a little bit higher specifications and good performance, and if you like stock Android, then this is definitely going to be the phone for you with a few minor quirks. The final phone on my list is the LG Google Nexus 5, and this is sold directly from Google, and it's manufactured by LG, and it's a little bit pricier at this price point, $349 for the 16GB model and $399 for the 32GB models. But you have to think about this is with no contract. So most phones these days, flagship wise, cost $200 or $300 on contract. Even at this price point, the Nexus 5 features high-end specifications, including a high-quality 1080p display at 5 inches and the super-fast Snapdragon 800 processor, which you will find in your leading flagship smartphones. It also includes 4G LTE connectivity for AT&T, T-Mobile, and also Sprint. The software is pure Android, so it doesn't have any kind of skins on it at all, and the updates come immediately to the Nexus lines, and it's running the latest Android 4.4.2. That is what's great about the Nexus lines, is when the new Google software comes out, presumably Android 5.0, it will get pushed to the Nexus. Viewing multimedia is a great experience on the Nexus 5 due to its bright and great looking 1080p display. Now the one thing that you might notice is that the speaker is not that loud, but it will definitely do since it's just a single speaker. And it does have great phone call quality, which I noticed on both AT&T and T-Mobile, and the connection is great. And a lot of people might have a little problem with the battery life because it doesn't have the biggest battery, but it will definitely do. And it also features wireless charging that's built into the phone, unlike some of the other flagship phones out there. The Nexus is not new, but now it's available in this cool bright red color that is available for the same price. If you are a Google fan, then the Nexus 5 is the best Google experience you can get on any phone, because this is exactly how Google intended you to use Android. Now, there are some small quirks about stock Android, but the interface is so fast and so snappy, there's hardly any lags at all on the Nexus. Performance is extremely important to me if I'm buying a new phone, and this phone will not disappoint. The only problem for some might be the storage, since it only comes in 16GB or 32GB without an SD card slot, but that is something you need to know before you buy this phone. Now, if you're a gamer, you're also not going to be disappointed, because the Adreno 330 graphics chip is fast enough to play any game that's out on the market right now very smoothly, and as you can see, Dead Trigger 2 is no match for the Nexus 5 or any of the games that are out there. So if you're a gamer, you will love this phone. Of course, this is the most expensive one out of the three, but rightfully so, because it has the highest specifications. It even features an 8-megapixel camera that has decent quality, and also it shoots 1080p video. But think about this, if you're going to spend $200 on a phone on a 2-year contract, you can buy this phone for $350 with no contract, and your performance is going to be very similar or even better. So that is the Nexus 5. Now, many of you will disagree and say the Motorola Moto X should have been on there instead of the Nexus 5. And I wouldn't blame you, because the Moto X is a fantastic phone in that same price range from $300 to $400. The Moto X was one of my favorite phones of last year because it really does have one of the best user experiences on a smartphone. So if you wanted to replace the Nexus in this top 3, I wouldn't blame you, but the reason why I picked the Nexus is because I think it has a better price to performance ratio, and it definitely has a little bit more future proofing when it comes to the software, in my opinion. So if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section below. Alright, well that does it for me in the top 3 budget phones. I know that the last one wasn't quite budget, but it is if you think about it. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these phones, but they're definitely different in their own way. So let me know what your favorite phone is down below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more videos like this. And if you want me to continue this series, then give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.